the fuck? What's going on here? Hold on. Let me re-add it in there. I think it must be somewhere strange. All right.
Y'all need to move out of Cali.
Yeah, that state's way too blue.
Is that agreeing to having sex prior?
No, let's assume prenuptial.
Okay.
Let's assume prenuptial. Let's start there.
You want to take that one?
Yeah. So
God made attorneys.
Yeah.
So for me, right, I feel like that I'm not knocking people who do prenuptials. However, I do think that when you go in with the mentality of I need to protect my exit, then you are subconsciously putting yourself in a space where that's an option, right? So if I have to go in and protect my money from you, then I really don't trust you completely. If I got to go in and I'm thinking that there might be a day where we're going to get a divorce, then let me go ahead and establish this now. Subconsciously, I left that door open. So now it's one of those things that if ever there's a money issue, it's going to be a heightened thing to where I have to make sure that I'm protecting my investment over my relationship. So that's my stance, because I feel like if anything, you're going in hedging your bets on the possibility, then what you're doing is subconsciously creating the possibility.
And we don't accept that situation in any other scenario. Imagine a woman that says, I want to protect my future. So let me holler at this guy that I has been trying to get at me, and you'll be my plan B. So I'm just making an agreement with you.
Yeah.
If things don't work out with my husband and you're single, let's just pinky promise that we got this thing and we protect each other for each other. So if anything happens, we already know the deal. Would any man be comfortable acknowledging that type of agreement? No, that's wilding. It's the same mindset. You're going in planting a seed, and recognize, man, seeds grow.
I say plant the seed. Are you subconsciously creating an exit? Are you subconsciously creating an exit? I'm going to go to you.
Let me go first.
You want to go first? All right,
because he's speaking exactly what I talked about. I ain't gonna go long. Listen, fellas, ignore that bullshit. That is the fucking brainwashing mindset that has gotten men dragged so much. That's what, you know what? That's the guy. So the gynocracy, we talk about patriarchies and matriarchies and gynocracy. Remember, gynocracy is a system of government that is ran by women, enforced by men. So when Clout was asking, like, yo, why don't we get some laws to put together to get this stuff so men can't, because you got niggas like that's not gonna do that, because they're gonna look at what women want, and pussy is power, and it's like, what you want me to do, baby? Okay, well, that's what I'm gonna do. And then so the whole mentality, the prenups are good for women and men. It's good for both people. It's insurance. It's an insurance policy. Well, you know, I don't want to start driving, and I don't want. Why should we get insurance? Because that's presupposing that when I get into the car, that I might fall asleep at the road, or something might happen, and I don't want to drive and get insurance saying that I'm protecting myself from getting sued, because I don't plan on drinking and driving. I plan on stopping at every red light. It's like, what? No, nobody wants to get a divorce. Nobody gets married to plan. Well, some people do, but by and large, we're not planning to get a divorce. But shit happens. And knowing that 97 people in a room of 100 are men that's paying alimony, a room of 100 people paying alimony, 97 of them are men, and only 3 are women. Alimony is paid out by men 97% of the time. How can you say, well, you know what, that I ain't that's what women, that's in fact the exact argument that women are using to not have a prenup. So do not listen to that. I don't know who's gonna come in and say something after me, but do not go into the mindset of, well, I'm putting it out there in the air that I might get a divorce. So then why should I do that? It means you don't trust your girl. If you want a prenup, that's bullshit. Ain't got nothing to do with trust. It's called protection. That's all it is, man.
Go ahead, Marcus.
So I really appreciate all y'all insight, and I gotta defer to people who've actually been through this before when it comes to talking about these situations, right? I kind of lean to the not lean to, but I stand on my plan B is to make plan A work philosophy. So I understand what they're saying in regards to planning for it to fail beforehand, but that does not negate the fact that you need to be smart in preparation, right? So I'm not against the prenup at all. But I would say I feel them on my plan B is to make the plan A work. That's really all I heard them saying. I read a book yesterday called As a Man Thinketh, and it was saying that the things we worry about, obsess over, or whatever comes into our sphere of just consciousness, we can start to have habits that then manifest the thing that we're thinking about. So if you constantly worried about the breakup occurring, right, then you can start looking at things like, this is going to be the thing she break up with me for, this is going to be the thing that we break up behind, this is going to be and you constantly have that in your circumference of thought. So it's just constantly gravitating around, and then you can manifest some of these negative outcomes based off of that. Now, is that exactly what's going to happen? I'm not saying it is, but I do believe that what you focus on and fixate on, it does radiate to you. There is a law of attraction, I believe, in my personal opinion. But again, I'm not against the prenup, but I understand what they're saying.
Look, you're not wrong about what you just said, but I think sometimes your plan B helps your plan A to work. You know what I mean? So like you don't plan on crashing the car, right? But it helps to have better tires in preparation that you could skid off the road. It helps to have a seatbelt in preparation that you crash. It helps to have an airbag. It helps to have a roll cage or whatever, and all these safety features. Because yeah, you hoping not to crash, but in the case that you're in a situation where you might crash, we got traction control so you don't crash. We've anticipated that. In the case that you would get flung out your car and every bone in your body would break, we got a seatbelt for you. We've anticipated that. So by creating those parameters, you could actually be protecting your marriage too, because it's like now that woman knows exactly what she'll get if she leaves. And maybe what she'll get if she leaves isn't an incentive to leave, as opposed to having this mystery incentive of being able to say, oh, well, he's making more and more money every year and I can get half of that. I got an incentive to leave now. But if I know if I leave right now, I'm stuck with 20,000 and in the ring, that might not be an incentive to leave. That might make her say, you know what? I know exactly what I'm gonna get if I leave this situation. It might be better to stick it out. So essentially, a prenup is what I look at as marriage insurance. And I don't think there's any bad situation for having marriage insurance. Just like having car insurance or health insurance or dental insurance.